meetings or whatever. And I don't have some different.
Fix your hair, Rich.
I couldn't get it registered.
Fix your hair.
Well, I had it registered by every.
Both
of them?
meeting.
Yeah.
The one time I'm not.
Yeah. I get it, yeah.
All right, we'll call the May 2nd, 2022 council meeting order with rise from Omasas, followed by pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Byerly.
Here.
Councilmember Conklin.
Here.
Councilmember Missouri. Here. Councilmember Stevenson.
Here.
Councilmember Brinker.
Here.
Councilmember Morris.
She'll be here soon.
Mayor Long.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the April 18th regular meeting.
Second.
Motion floor in a second. Any other discussion? Call the vote.
Councilmember Byerly.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Morris.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Public comments and requests for a consideration of resolution number 2022-19.
This is a resolution to install a banner for Relay for Life of Clinton County. They're having a race on May 14th. And the installation would be on May 5th through May 14th.
What's the wish of council?
Second.
Motion floor in a second. Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Councilmember Byerly.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Morris.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 4B, consideration of resolution number 2022-20, Ross Library.
This is another resolution for the installation of a banner for the Ross Library book sale. The installation will be on September 1st and removed on the 18th of September.
What's the wish of council?
Move acceptance, resolution 2022.
And a second. Any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Byerly.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Morris.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. These next couple we could probably put together. I did them separate because of the attention to the first two. So for C, D, and E, could you go over those unless somebody wants to split?
The YMCA is requesting use of Copeland Park on Friday, June 3rd for an intro to wellness event from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. There is a request for the use of Zindle Park on September 10th, 2022 for a wedding ceremony. And then we received a letter from Josh Woods of the Highway Safety Network to asking for permission to install geocaches in Hannah Park, Memorial Park, and the grounds at the Station Art Gallery. And then that letter explains how that will work. And they are doing this all throughout Clinton County as well. So it's just what would take place in the city.
Do I have a motion for those three, or does anybody have questions before we move forward?
I move the resolutions.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Byerly.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Morris.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Any other public comments or requests?
I've done your honor.
Unfinished business. 5A, notification of funding offer from PennFest.
As I'm sure everyone has already read from the very nice articles that appeared in both the Express and the Record. The city was awarded $5 million in a low interest 1% loan from Penvest for phase 1 of the modifications to Warren Old Dam, which the city owns in Green Township. And so that will enable this project to move forward. Obviously, it's just the funding offer right now. There's still a lot of documentation and signatures to go through, but it's a very good sign that the projects are moving forward.
Any other unfinished business?
I have none, Your Honor.
New business, 6A, first review of the 2023 water fund budget.
Council's been provided 5 minutes ago the first draft of the water fund budget for 2023. In accordance with the wishes of council, we normally kind of study the budgets behind the scenes. People do their homework and then ask questions. Usually water gets like one meeting. So this year we'll be going over the water fund budget at the next meeting in May and the 2 meetings in June in greater detail. So if council has more opportunity to ask more questions and delve more deeper into the budget. Obviously, in 5 minutes, no one has read this document. And I will say that for people at home or for the newspapers to report, the city's civil space page that is available for the 2023 budget, this document has been loaded onto that page as additional supporting documents so that people can review that. And the survey that's available for people to take is still available for that, as well as the stormwater survey. We have had really good turnout for both of those surveys to give a lot of great information for council and its decision making. So just some highlights of the budget. The customers of the water system bear the cost of regular operation. For the city, that's 2,186 customers in the city limits, plus an additional 526 customers in Wayne Township, 525 in Castanea, and 24 in Allison. The city's total customers right now are 3,237. In addition, the Suburban Water Authority customers drink the same water that's drawn from Keller Reservoir and passes through the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority plant. Suburban right now has 3,322 customers at last report. So for the city, as well as obviously for Suburban, with a cost sharing agreement, the dam projects represent the largest shared project going forward. And this would be the most significant investment in the city since the construction of the wastewater treatment plant. And in all, this will be at least $27 million worth of improvements to the drinking water system. And that's just the dams. For the city only share, the city of course has 57.5 miles of water distribution mains. And so some of those are 70 or more years old. And information has been provided in this document as well for the public and for council to review. What is true is that about 69% of the cost for the city is from residential properties, and 13% comes from industrial customers of the city and 10% from commercial. So residents themselves really bear the majority of the cost of the water system that serves them and the businesses that they either work for or shop from. And the city has not raised water rates in 11 years. And over that period of time, just adjusting for inflation, cumulative inflation has gone up 27.8% from what the costs were back then. Now that's for general inflation. When you actually look into the Bureau of Labor Statistics when it comes to water maintenance systems, that inflation over that time period has been 54%. And we have actually felt that ourselves. And right now the city has been spending its fund balance down in order to not raise rates, but the fund balance has gotten to a small enough place that we do have a discussion with council about raising rates. The detail of the budget is also available inside, line by line, so you can go through and see what are shared costs with Suburban and what are individuals' costs just for the city. And then for people who may pick this up at home, I know council's already reviewed the January 14th document that appears at the end from Gwynn Dobson and Foreman. That's a history of the water system and its current usage. And that's been included as well for people who want to pick up a copy of the budget either online or here at City Hall to have a better understanding. In the timeline of reviewing this, of course, council will have the opportunity as well as the public at every meeting to ask questions. And May 16th, we'll discuss some of the revenue options. June 6th, we'll determine some of the actions that are in the best interest of the customers. And June 20th, how the council would like to see those action steps implemented. The budget, of course, is for 2023. It will not be adopted in the middle of the year, but at least now we'll have a discussion on where you'd like to see the budget and how you'd like it to be, if at all possible, when you actually consider it in the fall budget. That's my song and dance.
I think it's that, I know that already brought this up during last year's budget, and I think it's the right approach. It gives the public a lot more time. We see stuff throughout the year, but it even gives us more time to digest it. I approach it this way. I appreciate staff putting this together for us to be able to start looking at it and considering direction. Water is something that everyone needs. So we make sure we're truly blessed here to have water to do. But it's always a challenge on how we're going to do it, continue to do it. But we'll look at it next meeting.
Yep.
Thank you. 6B, save the date.
I'll let Councilmember Stevenson speak more to this. This is under one of the hats he wears is the city's emergency manager.
There's a elected officials course that I've been lobbying for the county to present because of all the newly elected officials for the last couple of years, and with nobody coming out of PEMA to do training in the field or anything. This is the first class that we have coming up that is for us. And it'll be open to the other municipalities in the county too. And it makes you aware of what your roles and responsibilities are during a disaster. You mitigate it ahead of time so you know what you're doing, because when something happens, it's not the time to learn it. So, and it also will go over some of the things that happen after a disaster is over, of how we do recovery and things that we do. And it'll tell you the roles in the class of the city manager and of the Department of Public Works director, and what our role as council people are. And it'll mention some of my role as emergency management coordinator. So we can invite staff. It's going to be at the Emergency Operations Center. And I hope we all can attend just for awareness. Probably going to be an hour or two of your time on Tuesday night, July 19th, okay, it's a Tuesday. So I would encourage you to attend so you're better prepared, as we all should be in case something does happen.
See, this one, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a NIMS training or something we used to have?
Yes, yes, and that's a National Incident Management System. And there's an introductory class to that too,
Right.
which helps you during disasters. And we have a lot of city staff and employees that do have NIMS training.
Right. I know I had to do it a couple times.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, the 100 is the introductory and the 700 is the actual, like, delving into NIMS itself. But both of those certificates are available for you to do independently online. You do want to set aside about 4 hours to do that independently at home. There are videos that go along with it, things to watch. I think the best thing I ever learned from the 700 NIMS is it doesn't matter what your position is. The people who know what they're doing are the people who take charge in an emergency. And so if I don't know the most on how to close the levee, I am not in charge of closing the levee. It's whoever knows the most is present on a topic that really takes precedent. And that's a really good thing to always remember, because sometimes you think just because I'm in charge of something, or, you know, that's a subcommittee that I formed or created, that I think to myself, oh, I must be the best then. There are a lot of things of handling an emergency that the people who physically are the boots on the ground of the city staff know a lot better how to do than I do. So that's always good to be reminded of that.
Anything else on that? Thanks. Any other new business?
I have none, Your Honor.
Okay, FYI, reports of authorities and boards, commissions and committees, the audit of the Lockhaven City Authority, 7A.
Yes, the city authority audit is included for your review. That's done by the same auditing firm as the city. Because it is a blended component unit of the city's final audit will include figures that appear in this audit. So it's almost kind of like a sub audit. Also, the minutes of January and April, Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority are included. And the city did make contributions to, excuse me, the, I apologize, I'm a little sidetracked by conversation about family emergency, but thank the Piper Aviation Museum, we gave $100 in memory of John Brierton and $100 in memory of Ray Gorham. John Brierton, of course, served the city for many, many, many years. Was one of the founding board members of the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority, and also a member of the Civil Service Commission for the city for a long time. And Ray Gorham was a longtime city employee at the airport. No matter how much we paid Ray, he owed us more in rent. So he was one of the best employees ever, because, you know, you want to pay somebody and still have them pay you more back. But Ray was really a great staple at every fly-in and was well known by a lot of people. So those donations were made, which is the maximum permissible for honorariums from the city. And then finally, the Alpha Fire Company gave their thank you for the annual assistance from Hand in Hand Hose Company, who goes up to cover Alpha's station in the Borough of State College, while Alpha covers the blue and white game at Beaver Stadium. And so they very kindly will be reimbursing for the fuel that it costs to go up there. And the guys really enjoy doing that. And this year was less exciting than last year. That's good for them.
Yeah. Any other reports,
I have none, Your Honor.
other matters?
Don't we ever reveal this Tuesday?
We do, I had that on my
Oh,
notes.
did you? Okay, I had it on mine too.
Yeah. You want to bring it up? You can announce it.
We will be announcing the summer concert series schedule tomorrow evening. We'll be having a reception at 4:30 tomorrow. And then we will be posting the schedule online for everybody.
Where's the reception? So that people know.
Main Street Grill.
Excited about the concert series this year. I think we've got a good lineup of groups, and we're getting a little bit better at meshing with what downtown Lockhaven Inc. is doing. The pandemic kind of had that all kind of messed around a bit. This year, I think we've got a nice plan together, working with them, and continue to work into next year's plan on how we can make that all flow together smoothly. So thank you, Casey. You really worked very hard for the committee and working with getting the bands lined up and everything laid out. And a lot of recognition for that. Actually takes more flack for it than just about anything. So thank you. Appreciate that. Any other matters? Steve?
May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So all those bikes will be out there riding around. Please watch out for them. And so to honor that, I wanted to bring that up because I ride a Harley and I have to many times watch when you get to intersections because people just don't see you even though I have that light on. And one other thing, sir, somebody on council has a birthday this week, I think Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Anyone else?
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead.
May 4th isn't just Star Wars Day. It's also Firefighter International Day. And back in February, I approached our principals, Nick Borelli, Deb Klein, and Kurt Lynch. It wouldn't be a neat idea if we could honor our local firefighters with an assembly. So on May 4th, Central Mountain High School, Mill Hall Fire Department, Lock Haven, Poco's Ladder, Dunnstown Squad, and Goodwill, Lock Haven EMS is partnering up. Mike Fetcher is the officer and chief over in Dunnstown there. And we had a nice little gathering there and gonna present the kids a little bit of what the firefighters do here locally within our community. And as we honor them, also it's gonna be a really neat day at the high school at 9 o'clock.
Thanks. And I remember you talked to me about this a little bit, about
Yeah.
working with how we might be able to get some more interest.
Yeah.
From this, just the volunteers are getting harder and harder.
Yeah. So a win-win for everybody and honoring and thanking our local firefighters for all that they do.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?